Already started already?
Yeah, let's start. Nah, dude, just talk.
Oh, he gonna edit.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna get all this shit while I was kicking Callaway back up.
I don't care.
All right, so we here, Imam Amin Muhammad, at the barber shop with Mayor Marty Small, and we want to talk about the upcoming election. So, Mr. Mayor, we want to know, what is the progress so far of the election, and you're running and doing what you're doing right now? Where are you at 2 weeks out from decision day? Where are you at?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me in the barbershop. And it's a great day here in the city of Atlantic City. That's our tagline. But, it's a very important election, 2 weeks out. This is the sixth election in a 7-election stretch in 20 months just to serve the good people of Atlantic City for 4 years. I'm running a Democratic primary. I'm in column B. Myself, dream big, vote small for mayor, vote Tibbet, Marshall, and Weeks for council at large. That's our ticket. This is when we turn everything up. This is when we really get aggressive with our messaging, turning out our vote. And as long as we get our vote out, it'll be another great day here in the city of Atlantic City.
So we're looking, besides our personal reasons, as we consider you a friend and an ally, why should the people of Atlantic City vote for you as mayor?
Because
to give you that 4-year term.
Outside of the obvious reasons that I've been in this community, that I'm one of us, it's performance. Take all the personalities away. People can't deny my leadership and leading the city through a tumultuous time. Coming in on the heels of the previous administration, going out on an FBI investigation, I had to come in and restore confidence in the mayor's office, restore confidence in the government, rebuild relationships, rebuild partnerships, and we done that. And as soon as we got in, we had to fight another fight that I led the charge on, and that was the change of government. We had people, rich people, coming in here trying to take over the great city of Atlantic City. But the caveat was, y'all can have a mayor, y'all can have a city council, they'll choose between themselves, but the person that's holding the real power wouldn't be elected by you or I.
Right.
And that is not conducive to good government. That's not the voice of the people. And we defeated that resoundingly by 80% of the vote. The next day, while all other elected officials took a sigh of relief, I had to go right back into campaign mode and focus on that. But in between that, there was something called coronavirus, COVID-19, which became a worldwide pandemic. And that's something that none of us knew anything about. I often state that if it was a hurricane or a nor'easter, it's a blueprint for that. If it's a blizzard, snow removal, there's a blueprint for that. If we need to evacuate the island, there's all type of plans for that. This is something that we couldn't see. We all had to learn on the fly. And I respectfully say that because of my sound, strong, proactive, and aggressive leadership, that the great city of Atlantic City had the number of cases that it did because we led by example. We kept our beach and boardwalk open while others shut theirs down. Because the governor did say, stay in the house. But in the next breath, he said, we encourage people to get out, ride a bike, get some exercise. And a lot of people don't understand that for the first time and forever, you had people that were used to just doing things every single day, same routine, that couldn't do anything. So mental health was, was the key as well. So I called on the federal government, I called on the state of New Jersey, I called on the county for testing sites, and for whatever reason that didn't come through. But as soon as I had that conversation with Cory Booker, the city of Atlantic City was the only municipality in Atlantic County to receive the first round of coronavirus funds at $786,810. I put that money to use. If I'm going to talk it, I got to walk it. Right. So we put that money to use. We put our money where our mouth is. That's why you had the drive-through site at Betafield. That's why you had the walk-up site at Showboat. Then with the rest of the funds, with CRDA paying for the first rounds for 5 months. We fed 3,780 senior citizens 2 hot meals per week. And we got a field hospital. Thank God we didn't really use that. We had the mega vaccination site, which is a state site, but also my administration partnered with Southern New Jersey Family Medical to get more Atlantic City residents the vaccination. And that takes us to here today as we're looking at Friday coming up, that the city is going to be wide open. And I've shown my support for the businesses during the pandemic, executive order for outdoor dining. Now I believe that all the restaurants are going to continue to be creative and have outdoor dining, even though the capacity restrictions are lifted. If you want to talk about being aggressive and proactive, there's so many businesses that said, if not for Mayor Small's executive order by allowing open containers on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, they would have been shut down. So also looking at things that, if you look at all the other major cities, not just with the pandemic, but with the police wars. We had the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's death. We had situations here in the great city of Atlantic City where we had a bad few hours versus other municipalities. They had weeks and months of rioting. And that's called leadership. I stood strong. I stood with our police. We don't have those issues here in Atlantic City, thank God. But standing strong, and my saying, my quote that I live by the late great Dr. Martin Luther King, and that's the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And all during these challenging and controversial times, I stood tall for the good people of Atlantic City. And lastly, let's talk about fiscal responsibility. A 2020 tax decrease in the heat of the pandemic. Coming back, a 2021 5.4 cent tax decrease in the pandemic, in spite of losing $80 million in ratables, but creatively finding a way to increase services while decreasing spending. I'm gonna say that again. Finding a way to increase services while decreasing spending. Now, the pandemic looks like it's in the rearview mirror. That division, the division of youth, recreation, senior, and multicultural affairs is going to be in full effect. We haven't hired our rec staff yet. We haven't hired youth services. So we were waiting for the pandemic to subside. All of those exciting programs that I was in charge of for the Atlantic City Board of Education is coming back in partnership with the Board of Education. We're going to be ran directly by the city of Atlantic City. When you talk about first in the city, the first anti-violence program, the program that I wrote called One Neighborhood Evolution, where we take people who've had a checkered past, but are fully rehabilitated, and they're going to pass that knowledge on down to the next generation and the generation after that. The city's program, we have that now. We have a full multicultural office. We have a rebuilt senior services office. So these are the programs that's going to benefit that's going to benefit the residents and have an impact on the quality of life. Another first in the mayor's office. You're talking about the Small Business Academy, which your sister came in second place. Second place.
That I was really proud of that. I'm telling you, I'm extremely happy.
Zenful cooking. Shout out to Stephanie Bethea. But that's an opportunity that we provided for free. We gave them free game. The residents of Atlantic City, 50 plus people in a few weeks are going to graduate the first ever mayor's office small business academy called the Entrepreneur Endeavor, where they went through a 9-week cohort, 9 weeks worth of training online and in person. And the business pitch competition was last week. I got a kick out of it. I stayed for as long as I could before I had to go for a debate. But these are things that are happening out of the mayor's office. And these are undisputed facts. It never happened before until now. And after this, knowing, speaking of the pandemic, that it taught us everything. You have to have options. Jobs weren't safe. You have to work on things that are, quote, pandemic proof. Amazon CEO became a trillionaire during the pandemic. Why? Because it was essential to move goods. And what are we going to do? We're going to have a trucking school, a CDL school for Atlantic City residents to get them a career. It went out to bid, and we're working on it. In addition to that, talking about creating more entrepreneurs, we're having investment seminars. It's going to be an 8-week beginning cohort. Then after that, it's going to be the advanced cohort for another 8 weeks. and then another 6 weeks on REAP.
The real estate, quickly, the real estate thing.
And lastly, we had a cohort with Keller Williams where we had up to 10 Atlantic City residents, but in this first cohort, it was 3 that the city of Atlantic City via CDBG will pay for them to get their real estate license and become, a real estate agent. So these are the things that we're doing. This is why I'm saying that my administration is where all your hopes and dreams are made of. And not only that, but providing opportunities for younger people that normally wouldn't get a shot, upward mobility, training our next leaders in a CPM course, all of this in just a short 18 months during a worldwide pandemic. Can you imagine the possibilities when the restrictions are lifted off of the small administration?
Now, let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
And I like that you put it all out. Good practice. You got it all together. Boom. Challenging questions.
Bring it.
How are you able to do that? And that same things that you did now in a pandemic, and they're all first. A lot of them we can admit, right? We're Atlantic City residents. What is it that allowed you to do something that many of your predecessors were not able to do? What is it in your vision that allowed it to happen? Or what circumstances presented that you could do it, that these are all first? What is it that you think was missing that we're finding under your administration?
Listen, and I'm not taking a
and
shot.
not to put no one down, we're just having a real talk.
I'm not going to do that, but not to take a shot at any other administration. For whatever reason, things happen. I can only take advantage of what is happening under the small administration. It's preparation. It's called a plan. 2020, I had a 41-page plan to get the city through some things. We did 90% of the plan, and at the end of December, we have the same chart. This is what we said we were going to do. This is what we're done. Those plans, that's a document. I hold my administration accountable. February 11th, 2021, at the Atlantic City Convention Center in front of a packed crowd, I gave my State of the City address. Mm-hmm. It was called Vengeance is Mine. Because vengeance is mine, said Atlantic City, because we're coming back for everything that we lost during the pandemic. And it was a 84-page, 2-hour and 20-minute articulation of my plan. I've always said that I would be in a position to be a better administrator because of my administrative experiences. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the city of Atlantic City. Mm-hmm. I've run organizations. I've run departments, and I've done things at a high level and a successful level. So putting a vision on the city and knowing what the people need and knowing what the people want, it was just, executing the plan. I govern by these principles. The quote that I govern by is by Simon Sinek, who's a British American author, motivational speaker, and organizational consultant. It says, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of the people in your charge. Let me say that louder for people in the back. Leadership is not about being in charge. Mm-hmm. It's about taking care of the people in your charge. And that's the residents, taxpayers, business, and visitors, of Atlantic City. And our theme, our leadership theme is called Let's Ace It. That's an acronym-based theme. And that's the principles that my administration will govern by. And that's leadership, expectations, transparency, and stability, accountability, credibility, and excellence execution.
About your team.
None of us any good to have all of these robust plans if you don't have the personnel in place to execute.
Speaking about that, your team, you got Miss Marshall, Mr. Weeks, and Mr. Tibbet. And
should I open this like Superman?
But go ahead. We're gonna let you have that. Go ahead.
All right. So we'll go ladies first. Stephanie Marshall, longtime political player in the trenches, mucking, grinding, getting the vote out. Treasurer extraordinaire, very intelligent, great governmental experience, longtime Housing Authority board member, Housing Authority commissioner, longtime treasurer of the Housing Authority, and professionally at the Atlantic City Board of Education. She is the bookkeeper, works in the finance department. So she brings a lot of political knowledge and experience, and we need a professional woman up there on city council that has some skin in the game, and we look forward to getting her up there. Bruce Weeks ran with me in 2017. Bruce Weeks is a Howard University graduate. He is the son of the legendary Judge Bruce Weeks, aka Cut Him Loose Bruce.
Cut him loose, Bruce.
Cut Him Loose Bruce. Cut Him Loose Bruce. But Bruce came back home, worked in the casino, worked at Atlantic Care, got some experience in the finance department in the city, left for a company called Edmonds. And when I became mayor, I had a conversation with him and kind of told him the role that I was looking for in the constituent service director, doing stakeholder engagement and, running business initiatives. And that's how, when I talked about the Small Business Academy, this is something that him and I had talked about for a while. And now that I'm in position to do it, we did it. So,
and he's leading the business thing,
yes,
right?
He is an employee of the mayor's office right now. He's the director of constituent services. And short story, we were in the office. It was a Friday, just looking out the window, having a conversation. And he was just like, I want to run. I said, run where? He's like, man, I got the itch. I want to run for city council. And that's somebody that I couldn't tell no. So the rest is history. And lastly, city council president, George Tibbet. Tibbet got a little street cred. I don't know how.
Street cred where?
I don't know how that a guy from VAC could put a guy that was growing up in Pitney Village.
Hold on, say that again? On the outskirts of Pitney Village? Okay, let's straighten some stuff here.
Tibbet said.
But I understand how these guys on the outskirts of the project say I come from the project.
Tell me about it. Wait.
But I got it.
Man, whatever, man. VAC for life. But George Tibbet, city council president, has been a great partner on the legislative side and, pushing our agenda through and basically doing what's best for the city. A lot of these people, except for Bruce, Stephanie, and George, we've been together. We've been apart. George is a fierce competitor. He's very passionate about the city, and we're glad to have him on board because, as he often says, there's no written rule in any book or any manual that says that the city council president and the mayor has to fight. Right. And that's what people want us to do. But that's people with an agenda. Listen, I'm not going to put no BS down. I'm not going to send no BS downstairs. So pretty much everything that we wanted to do, we're supported by the state. Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver sat there for the entire 2 hour and 20 minutes. She believed in our plan. She believes in our vision. And prior to that, when I first became mayor, and I told her that in order to run the city the way I see fit and the way I need to run, I need to expand the office. I said, no disrespect to any other administration, but I can't see how you can run a mayor's office with a chief of staff and 2 administrative personnel. It can't work. So we expanded the office with the lieutenant governor's blessing, and we expanded services for the good people of Atlantic City, and we've been delivering. And most importantly, one of the mayor's biggest job is something, quite frankly, that I've been better at than most, and that's being a promoter. You've seen it with my events, you've seen it with some of the things that I've been able to do outside of politics, and I'm bringing that energy to the city because one of the things that I always said that we didn't do well was urban entertainment. We do everything else well. Where's the urban entertainment? So with that, my relationships in the sports and entertainment world are starting to bear fruit. You got DJ Envy, who is doing Coachella weekend here in the great city of Atlantic City. Coachella, his car show is at, modeled after Coachella. But Coachella, his car show is going to be on Baderfield on Saturday, August 14th. A white party that Friday night at Bungalow Beach Bar.
So is that going to be like a Marty small ball party or something?
Nothing is like that.
Oh, okay, I'm just trying to,
I mean, you said this is the barbershop.
We're going to keep it real.
Nah, listen.
So are you retired or that's still in the making?
No, well, I'm retired, but I promised the good people of Atlantic City, when I win this 4-year term, we're going to have the mother of all inaugural balls. I promise you that.
All right, so I'm just automatic. I get an official ticket, right? All right, great. Just, we just, hey, it's barbershop talk.
Also, Alice Gitwine flew in from AG Entertainment, the #1 urban entertainment company in the country, hands down. All the events you see at Super Bowl, NBA All-Star Weekend, CIAA, not to mention all the clubs in Atlanta, the Gold Room, Compound, Onyx, the Dome. These are the creators of that, and when I tell you that they were blown away by what I had to show them, and we'll see fruits of our labor with that, with a big announcement soon and very soon.
Okay, now question, because Atlantic City has a reputation of a lot of infighting between sometimes council, sometimes the mayor, sometimes council. How important is the team you have in making a cooperative effort between the mayor's office or the administration and council? How important is getting these three elected as well as yourself?
Oh, it's extremely important. It's everything. When we win this election, it will be an 8-1 city council. And it's extremely important. And if you look at who votes no on what, it shows you where they are. Mind you, when you vote against kids and you vote against senior citizens in disguise for doing someone else bidding, you shouldn't be there. So these are all professional people. These are like-minded people. These are people that know how to open a packet, A, B, know how to read a packet, and C, know how to make an informed decision without someone putting a battery in their back. So it's extremely important. Listen, I'm committed. I'm passionate about this city. No one is ever going to outwork me. And it's important in Atlantic City that you go straight down the column B line from Governor Murphy all the way down column B till you can't go anymore. We are the most qualified. We're the most experienced. And it's time, to do the right thing. And as I stated, I've been waiting for this moment, for a long time. I would never use words like deserve because that's selfish. But Atlantic City, I believe I earned your vote. I believe I earned the opportunity. And all I ever asked for is to give me the same opportunity that every other mayor was afforded. And that's a 4-year term. And I would hate to see all of the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears that I put in leading us through the pandemic for someone in here to come in and upset the apple cart and just, throw our plans away. And
speaking of Beta Field, you're talking about the what's the basketball?
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry. Is that something that's going to be coming forth at Beta Field soon, or the season will be still in Venice Park, or it's going to actually? Is that something that's talk, or is going to be going to finalize?
Listen, this administration means what it says and says what it means, whatever order you want to put that in. On the 3rd, we are breaking ground for the anchors for the courts. We are building a new complex, and that complex will stay there until a development comes through. And if someone purchases Beta Field for development, Beta Field has to always have open space for the public. On their dime, they'll pay for everything that they had to tear down and put it back. So, and working with the Venice Park Civic Association, we said it's construction. The pandemic, supplies are scarce, etc. We don't expect any delay, will be on Beta Field June 26th, playing basketball. I believe the first game starts at 4:30. I believe people are going to be extremely shocked at what they see out there. And if you know me, I don't half step. It's going to be an event. It's going to be the circus.
So are we going to be looking like the Rucker? Are we going to be better? Are we where are we at? What this going to look like?
Listen, we're Atlantic City. It's going to look like nothing you've ever seen. So just picture that drone shot. Let's take the drone from Venice Park all the way across the water to Beta Field. Slow-mo if you want. And just imagine that aerial shot with a surface that has never been put down in Atlantic City history. We're not talking about concrete. We're not talking about asphalt. We're talking about a real surface. Bleachers, lights, cameras, action. I can't wait. And
are you coming out of retirement for like one game?
Listen. Listen,
I mean, you know, since we're gonna make it grand, like,
listen,
you know.
A couple people reached out. I mean, I ain't going front. I'm working out, you know, 3 times a week. I'm about to work out 7 days a week. It's riding season. A couple people reached out. In about another month, I'll be about another 10 to 15 pounds lighter. And my strength never went anywhere. So it's like I'm always going to be the strongest person on the court. And, you know, these young boys, they too light. And you know what? And in my sleep right now, I'm a walking, talking double-double. Easy.
All right. So at least for the entertainment part of it, it's going to be nice.
But in all seriousness, we work with the Venice Park Civic Association and Stay Hungry. The bottom line, like, let's be honest, they were a victim of their own success. They outgrew Venice Park.
Right.
Nothing happened, thank God, knock on wood.
Right. They did a good job. We have to say that.
Couple scares with people just running and, you know,
right,
people start following. But we look forward to that. I mean, this is something that...
Is that going to be indoors or outdoors?
It's outdoor.
Outdoor. With just a ceiling. Or it's open?
It's open. It's the element. It's beta field. I mean, I cannot wait. We picked out the color of the court. We picked out the color of the lines. And this is something that, you know, we're going to be proud of. And it just goes to show that, you know, my administration is going to support anything good for the great city of Atlantic City. And that's why it's important that I stay in office.
And one of the things I can say about this, because, you know, we got history in doing this type of work together. And one thing that I say for the people of Atlantic City, and giving you that opportunity for a full term. And I don't think no one can, you know, there's always people who's jealous, who don't like you personally or whatever. But I don't think no one who can honestly look at what you have done with this year you've had, right, can deny that you've done an excellent job, right? Within this circumstance,
yes,
right? And you know, I can be critical, you know that. You did a great job. And I've seen what you've done when you had the ability to do what you wanted to do. I've seen it with the children. In the history of Atlantic City, I don't think we've seen children be as happy as when you had the ability to serve them.
Absolutely.
No one can take that if we just be honest, right? So I'm looking for that. I think our city is a city that's on the brink of a turnaround to a city that when they used to say Atlantic City was the world's greatest playground. I see you bringing something like that, or better.
And we are.
Because we always say we don't have nothing to do here. No. And I think that's going to change.
And thank you for the softball. I'm going to knock it out the park. But back
now,
to
you wasn't a good baseball player.
Listen, you better ask.
All right.
But back to the children.
Right.
Before Councilman Small, before Mayor Small, I'm Mr. Marty.
Right.
And to a lot of those children, I'm still Mr. Marty.
Right.
And that's where I made my bones. That's my passion. I go above and beyond, you know, for children in the city. And now that I'm the mayor and, you know, I have, you know, decision-making powers, I believe you're going to see something that you've never seen before for children in this city. And, you know, I believe in that. And what was the other topic? Because I lost the train of thought. We talked about a couple of things, and I said, let's start with Mr. Marty.
And the other thing was...
I said the softball... What was it? I said you just gave me a softball.
I said that what you've done for the children and what we're looking to turn into the world's greatest playground.
Yes. Speaking of that, we had a meeting that was a part of my State of the City address to change the slogan and branding of Atlantic City. Do AC, that's a thing of the past. Me personally, I think it was a waste of money. because it wasn't executed properly. That's no shot at anybody. That's just my opinion. And as you stated, to do things, nothing to do. People heard Bart Blatstein himself say it, the owner of the Showboat. He said, the mayor convinced me to do this, to have the largest arcade in the state of New Jersey, to give people something to do. When you talk about the upcoming plans, the water park, we're going to break ground on the $100 million water park that we're extremely excited about. And these are the things that we have to do to take Atlantic City to the next level. I came out on January 16th, 2020 at my first State of the City address at Caesars in the Palladium Ballroom, laid out all my plans. But the thing that got the biggest applause when I said, we put up a slide with a bulldozer going through the Trump Plaza. I said, we're going to tear that down. And everybody said, well, every other mayor said it, governors, senators, everybody said it. But like I said, we believe in what we say. The saying, a leader knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. And that's what we did. And 13 months and a day later, Trump Plaza came coming down. In the meantime, we raised almost $250,000.
That's important
for the Boys and Girls Club. And if you go by there now, and I mean, it's just fascinating. I'm in awe. You ride past the Trump Plaza site and not seeing it connected to Boardwalk Hall, it's amazing. And that's the vision that for the first time, we have one opportunity to get it right. And it's not the city's land. We're going to work with Carl Icahn and them to make sure that we get a fascinating development. Hopefully it's family entertainment, something that can accommodate the water park, because, development is a copycat lead.
I was on the boardwalk the other day. I went for a ride. What are they doing at the boardwalk hall?
Facelift.
Oh, that's just inside or outside only?
They did the inside, now it's the exterior.
Okay, so it's going to be a whole new...
Yes, just facelift. Yep.
Okay. The other question, wasn't there plans for a ShopRite or something coming to the city? Was it still?
No, wait. Now let me
because people are not aware of it.
They're aware of it now.
Okay, go ahead.
Once again, this is people wanting instant gratification and not understanding, the situation. Don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Just say, oh, they're now ShopRite, it's never coming. That mentality. We're not going to have that mentality with me in charge of the city.
Right.
We're going to be go-getters. We're going to make things happen. And I'm proud to announce that ShopRite is coming. Now, let me explain this. February 19th, 2020. That date is key. February 19th, 2020. At CRDA, I'm in a meeting with the ShopRite owners and several CRDA board members and executive director Matt Doherty. Initially, when ShopRite submitted let me take you back real quick to the summer of 2018 when CRDA put out an RFP and ShopRite responded. So we had a company called Uplift Solutions. They're supermarket consultants. They do this around the country. They were saying that maybe for Atlantic City, a chain like Fresh Grocer or something else, that's something that looks like a ShopRite, feels like a ShopRite, but it's not a ShopRite. And I remember saying that to the lieutenant governor. I said, look, that's the attitude that we have here. We just want to accept anything. Why shouldn't the people of Atlantic City get a supermarket? And I was the council president then. And the lieutenant governor said, I agree with the council president. The residents of Atlantic City deserve a ShopRite, and we'll do whatever we can to make it happen. Now, ShopRite responded. Go back to February 2020. They submitted for a 40,000 square foot ShopRite. Generally, their ShopRites are about 80,000 square feet. So they came in and said, well, we don't want to do a 40,000 square foot store in Atlantic City. We're bullish on Atlantic City. We want to build a 60,000 square foot store in Atlantic City, a regional training center, and a fulfillment center, all on Atlantic City campus. So in order to accommodate that, the supermarket is going to be located on Baltic Avenue in between Indiana and Ohio. In order to accommodate that, you had to go across Indiana Avenue. You can't go across Indiana Avenue because the firehouse is there. Okay, if you go in the other direction, you had to cross Ohio Avenue. You can't do that because that's the express lane to the hospital. And forget about engineering and saying, oh, well, we can divert the route here and there. All the data shows in the healthcare industry that life and death is a matter of seconds. So why even play with that? So we met with them. They were going to not only do all the aforementioned things I said, but they said that they were going to build, they were going to close the AppSeek and ShopRite. So we came back, we said, okay, sharpen your pencils, come back, we'll meet March 19th. Why is that important? March 12th, I gave an emergency declaration in Atlantic City. March 16th, all the casinos closed. So ShopRite was on the back burner during the pandemic. But because the public didn't hear anything doesn't mean that I wasn't constantly pushing in the background to get a deal done. Now I'm proud to announce for the good people of Atlantic City that a memorandum of understanding is signed between the CRDA, which is your mayor, I'm a board member, the CRDA and ShopRite, and we're looking at a fall groundbreaking. So I'm saying that to say other mayors and other administrations said that they wanted to tear Trump Plaza down. We did it. Everybody said that they want family entertainment. We did it. Talking about the water park and the arcade. Everyone said that they want a major supermarket. Didn't happen. We did it. So you keep following the trends. We're going to continue to get things done. It's been a tough time governing during the pandemic. But I often say tough times don't last. Tough people do.
And you've went through some tough times, and you've been a tough man. We already know that. And I'm proud. I'm happy to say you're our mayor. And I'm looking forward to say that for the next 4 years and many more after that. And you know that's a lot coming from me.
Yeah.
That's a lot coming from me. But listen.
Wait, time out.
You said it. I have to give it to you. You said I'm gonna have to publicly say you did the work. All right, I'm taking it publicly.
Is this an endorsement?
Oh, 100%. Woo! 100%. And I have to say, remember we had this, so you know, me and you had some rough times, right? But check it out. You're doing it. You said it. So I was talking to my brother, who's also one of your homie critics. And I said, listen, he's doing the job. We all say what we wanted. He's doing the job.
Yeah. And listen.
Right? And no one,
we just getting started.
no one's perfect.
Not at all.
You can find anyone, but what I like about you, and I told you this privately as well, oh man, just keep rising, right? There's always gonna be people who hate, as we say. Just keep doing your job and think for generations to come. You can leave a mark that lasts for generations for our youth to aspire to. Because you can be reached, right? And that's important. Like the fact that you're sitting here in the barbershop where CJ just wows out all the time, right?
Watching my sixes, so I can't politically correct.
Right. And look, you don't even look like a mayor.
Got on my favorite undershirt.
You look like a dude who's on the outside of VAC. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you're doing it, man. Congratulations.
The inside.
Across the street.
The guy from VAC that came down Pitney and walked all those trophies down Baltic Avenue and put him in the middle of VAC. That guy?
That guy.
Okay. All right.
See, so that's the point. That guy who never forgot where he came from. That's the part I can say. That guy, and I don't want to take a shot at nobody, right? You know what I say? And I'm not taking a shot at nobody. One of the things that I admire about you is that you never forgot where you came from, right? You never forgot where you came from. That means a lot, right? No matter how high you climbed politically, successfully in life, you got your education, right? And I think in our community, we need to celebrate that stuff. And we can differ, but we should celebrate that.
And you want to know what's crazy? I got my same friends. You know the saying, no new friends. Of course, in politics, you got political friends, but I'm talking about my real friends. And to speak on that, you want to know what's crazy? Like, I built my home in the same neighborhood that I grew up in, a block away. And I remember when I broke ground, the construction site, and, you know, people will go by, oh, whose house is that? Oh, it's Marty Small's house. Living in the neighborhood my whole life. Oh, why he building that big blah, 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 house in the alley, so forth and so on. But on the flip side, if I went and bought a home in Longport, which I can, it's like, oh, you know, he's forgetting where he come from, and you know he's better than us. But that's just motivation. I'm on another level clearly, but I've also never hesitated to reach back. And some of the criticisms that I took, like, oh, well, why is he a councilman and he's doing parties and this and this and that? He's too close to his friends and so forth and so on. And because at the end of the day, titles come and go, but relationships last a lifetime.
There is a mayor. I don't know if you already met him. He's running for mayor now, but he's a councilman. He's in Ohio, I think Cleveland. His name is Bashir Jones. You heard of him before?
No.
I'm gonna get you to meet him.
Right.
He's running for mayor in Cleveland now, and I hope he wins, because politics is important in life, and to have young, vibrant, energetic, successful politicians who are still connected is very important for our children to see. It's extremely important to see that we can actually achieve something. And you know, you got a lot of young people that, you know, they can see, I remember I could touch him, and now that his star has risen, I still can touch him.
Absolutely.
That's important.
And it's not going to change.
And we and this is a testament of that.
And you say it on the campaign.
And remind everybody, this ain't no setup. This was me saying, yo, come on, man, we got to get you out. Yep. This was me saying, listen, come in. And never do we call and you don't come. Never. That's honorable.
Even we was on opposite sides.
Even when, like I said, right. I tell you a story. One time, you know, we had our real opposite thing. We had a fight, right? Not a real fight, because I'm from Pitney, so we know we have a real fight. Right? I'm talking about just a political, like a mayor, right? And my wife said, you and the mayor's beefing. I said, we ain't beefing. We beefing, but when the job gotta be done, we're gonna do what we gotta do.
And that's what it's about.
That's something that I admire about you. I have to say that publicly, because you know I really don't supposed to say that type of stuff. But
I got you.
You know, I'm really putting my card on the line for you. But I believe you're doing a great job, and I appreciate it. CJ, you want to close us out with anything? Want to criticize the mayor, call him some names or something?
I mean, criticize me.
Right.
Ask me anything you want.
I honestly don't have no questions. I don't live in Lane City, so I don't feel like I have the right to say anything.
All right.
Well, you can ask me anything. I mean, I'm game.
Hey, see, this is shit you don't want to do, right? What's up with y'all in the fight? Why you ain't fight back? That's right.
Right.
Marty, come on. Come on, Marty. You ain't about that life. You're about that paperwork. Yeah, you about that paperwork. Hey, stop! Go ahead. Child molester at the end. Child molester protect. Child molester protect. Come on. Don't do that. Coming. Mandy, tell me coming back. Mandy, coming in.
Listen.
No, I mean that's what everybody was saying.
No.
On Facebook.
See, it's easy for them to say, because if I fight back, my consequences is greater. Yeah. They're looking for a laugh. Listen, I mean, both of those dudes are old men. Like, what do I got to prove? You know, it was a situation that shouldn't have went where it went. And, you know, I'm part of the blame for that. I should know better. I know their tactics. I apologize to the people of Atlantic City. And if I would have even swung, what makes me different than when they criticize former Mayor Gilliam when that made national and worldwide news. And I'm in the position of rebuilding Atlantic City. So I didn't take it there. I mean, we could have took it all the way there, but what would have been accomplished?
You can't do it. You can't.
I can't do it.
I know you can't do it. I just
that's just the entertaining
I'm on
part.
the outside looking in because I don't
understand.
He's a friend of mine. I love him, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know no Atlantic City politic behind this. I don't know none of that stuff until somebody come to the barbershop and tell me.
Well, and like I said, I'm gonna just say this: we were campaigning, minding our business, and rolled by and called me a child molester protector. And let me just address that as much as I can, because there's lawsuits.
Right.
Be
careful.
around.
Be careful.
And I'm gonna just say this: you heard what this man said about me regarding children. Everybody knew my work regarding children. Before I was a father to my own, I was a father to the community. I was a big brother. I was the big homie. If you talk to kids in their 30s till this day, the best time they had as a child was under my watch. So for someone to stoop that low to say that I'm letting something happen, and let alone let something happen in my home, let me ask you this. And on my show, we talked about your experience with the FBI. This case was handled by the FBI, my wife's cousin. And I'm gonna say this to anybody out there. Should you be held liable to what a relative did? Absolutely not. But back to the FBI. Federal charges. Federal. Plea deal already in. 2017, 18, 19. We're in 2021. I'm gonna just ask you, if even something was whispered or rumored to happen in my house, they would have brought me in for questioning. They would have made it a part of the report. City Council President, now Mayor Marty Small.
I mean, everyone who be realistic know that. And here's the thing with that. It's perfect to use that to do stuff with the city itself. So they can run. So I mean, that's stuff, that's,
like I said, they don't have anything to talk about.
And believe me,
the truth is going to come out. The reason is we sued Craig Calloway for what he said, and he said he had proof. And all the dots will be connected on why we were sued. And the sad part about it,
sued. You got another lawsuit?
They're using this in a futile attempt to support a Donald Trump supporter. These guys are no good for the community. They've been selling the community out. They've been dividing the community, and it's time to stick a nail in that.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
Shoot.
One real quick. Can I ask something?
Sure, go ahead, roll out.
Go ahead.
So, like again, I'm the outsider. I live in Mays Landing, and I do business in Pleasantville, right? So I see all your stuff. I ain't never grew up in Main City, but I know everybody, right? Where did y'all beef come from? Because y'all used to work together, right?
No, when I first got into politics, I supported Craig Calloway because in my heart of hearts, I believed in his movement. I believed that he was for the people, and he led that way. And then greed got the best of him. And even when we were associated, there were certain things that he wanted me to do. At the end of the day, I'm a man's man. I've always stood my own ground. I always told it like it was. And if I wasn't comfortable doing something, I didn't do it. I understand politics. I didn't do it. And the bottom line is he can't control me. And, I'm a strong man, and I stand, on my feet. And I'm not going to let no one control me or tell me what to do like he does others. And he just couldn't take that. And hence, we are what we are.
And what about your beef?
I don't have no beef. You know my beef, you want to be listening.
Yeah, I do.
My it ain't a beef. For me, if you not for the people and I don't see you doing something for the people, I'm not going to support you, period. Right? That's just me. So when I look at what you do, I'm saying, what are you doing to help the people? All I see is destruction.
That's it.
Period. There's never been an election, no, except at the end result, you turn down the city? Name because I'm not a politician.
Everybody
For a
he's
second.
with, and
That's
if you don't
it.
do what he want, he turns.
And
It's the
I'm
same
saying,
thing.
do we need that as a city? I'm saying it don't matter. Whoever is the candidate, and here's one thing you won't accuse him, right? And I'm just saying this is just real, because we're Atlantic City people, right? I watch, and I say this too, because we talk. You know, it's Atlantic City, so you have every person that comes to Atlantic City. I'm Imam Amin. I'm going to talk. I have a job I got to do. How many mayors or people that when they not in office, you don't hear nothing from them at all? It's over. Right? They ain't mixing with the people, it's gone. Even when he's been through some stuff, he's always been around. He might not do everything we would like him to do, and he hasn't, and I've criticized him about that. We still could do this, we can still. But no one will ever say he never was accessible to us. He never was around. No one would say that. No one can say that, right? Why? Because he's always, no matter what he went through, still been involved to help the citizens of Atlantic City. That's true. You can't deny that. So even if he ran for a mayor, he lost, he take his lickings, he go through his stuff, he still come back and do his job, right? So that's a testament of the character of a person. You know what I mean? People like you, don't like you, you still serving. I mean, you can't argue with that. And that's why I say, I'm not a politician, but if we're gonna debate politics, and we're gonna debate candidates, I listened to you didn't hear the debate between the candidate that's running against him, his opponent, Tom Foley. Who the hell is Tom Foley? I mean, excuse me, I know you can't say that, but I can. Who is he? I had a job, I worked for Trump. No one in here talking about I worked for Trump and Trump helped me. While Trump bust up Atlantic City, put contractors, I worked in construction. You know how many people went out of business under Trump? Because you were straight, forget everybody else. You know how many small contractors, subcontractors lost their business because of Donald Trump?
Why you say that? Hold on. So people don't know, people know that we are talking about, this is his voice.
Hold it to you.
Let me go back.
I mean, that's just being real. So that's barbershop talk.
His record is untarnished in this city. As a matter of fact, it was a matter of fact that I thought he was doing a good job, and I like to congratulate people who do a good job. What that has to do with it, but I can tell you, I was one of the local businesses that did draperies for Mr. Trump. I hung the draperies inside of most of his casinos.
So he telling you about Donald Trump, how Donald Trump hooked him up, but how many people, because if you in the field, I did construction, people know, how many people Donald Trump put out of business? Sunk them. You know what I'm saying? Minority contractors, no subcontractors, put them out of business. But forget that. Go around the city and see how many people in the city actually even know who he is, except maybe in a certain section of the city. So that's not you could go anywhere in the city and everybody know Mayor Small before he was Mayor Small.
Absolutely.
In every part of the city. All the kids know.
You see it on the campaign trail.
That's what I'm saying. It sometimes is like about who's going to help the city. Not who's going to help me, because I don't. I mean, I do stuff and I ain't always benefiting. I ain't benefiting at all. I mean, I hope that changed, but I'm just saying. But you can't deny someone who's doing a good job, and we need somebody to do a good job. Atlantic City deserves good leadership. We deserve it. And when you see good leadership, you got to recognize it, right? And I know how it is to try to do good for the people and the people don't appreciate it. I know that feeling.
Absolutely.
Right? And I know the struggle with trying to say, listen, my record as a leader is a good job, but you ain't gonna get all the appreciation for that all the time, right? And we have this nature of, we always pulling each other down. I mean, think about it. Let's just, and I'm not want to toot this horn. I'm just saying, let's just be honest with ourselves. Atlantic City born. He plays sports locally, right? He served locally. He wasn't always a politician. Boys and Girls Club, trying to do stuff. I remember those days.
School
board. He did every part of service he could, right? And then look, got his education. So that's a model. He ain't a person, he got his bachelor's, went for his master's, got that, still serving, took his lumps, went to court, unjustly charged, got acquitted, got found not guilty.
Pick 12 twice.
And could have just said, man, I'm tired of this stuff. Still serving. Still on the clock. I mean, these things you guys, isn't that what we want our children to aspire to? Diversity, adversity, hardship, continue to climb, continue to do. Isn't that what we want? For our children, I'm talking about. Isn't that what all of us as parents, isn't that what we want? So if we say we want to see a better Atlantic City, we just look at what we're seeing. We've seen different stuff. And we got to give credit where credit is due. We can't, even if I don't necessarily like everything you do, I can't take away your merits if you have them. And that's what to do. Not if we're going to see a better Atlantic City.
It's important. It's
right?
important that we win.
And so for me, that's just me. I have a little say so, right? I say vote for Marty Small. And I say not only vote for Marty Small, vote for yourself through Marty Small. Because a victory for him is a victory for us. And that's how we see it. And even if every one of us don't benefit directly, overall, we'll all benefit. And just look at the intervention program he's got going on to reduce crime in the city. These people who got these jobs would normally not get that chance. Forget about it. But they are in the community, and I know firsthand they're working. And you go over to the soldiers' home. You got these young kids at the soldiers' home looking for positive role models. I seen them. They go in there. They would be normally in the neighborhood doing stuff. They over there talking with those people in that program, though Mr. Talley, Omar, and Newbom, as we call them, right? They're helping. You got the sister now, what's her name? Tawana. She's in the community serving, helping. That's a change, man. And you got to look at people who wouldn't normally have hope. Now they got hope. And we know in Atlantic City it's known that certain people just ain't getting a chance at all. You might get some menial job. Nah, they got a good paying job and they're doing a good service to the community. And it's not just a job, because those people like to do what they do. Even if they didn't get paid, they would do it. Mm-hmm. So now you put them in a position to be able to live a good life and serve the community. And someone say, what is he doing? That's just, I know you didn't know I think like that, did you?
I said, I'm Mayor Marty Small singing, and I approve this.
No, but it's true. So June 8th, that's when we got to show up. but we got to show out before June 8th.
Yes,
Because June 8th, you know, is decision day. We got to get out, get the message out. And I hope we have more conversations. And every platform I got, I'm going to do what I got to do to push it. And just check the records of people. Check the integrity of people, right? From us, he said he picked 12. He know I don't really dig that. But he said he picked 12. He did. And he won. So he trusted the system, which I'm going to be honest, most people wouldn't have done that. They would have copped out. Even if they was innocent, they would have took it. They wouldn't have took the chance. That's bravery. I got to give it to you. That's bravery. I'm innocent and I got to go all the way. Most people would have said, look, man, but he had bigger ambitions. That's honorable, right? Not once, twice.
No, definitely is.
That's honorable. So we know we got a man of integrity. You can't take that away because that's, right? Then you look at the fact that he's in office. We're under state control still, and we still thriving. And I was on the front line arguing about this state stuff with him. You remember me calling him names and everything, right?
What you call him?
I don't know. I wasn't too disrespectful, but you know what I mean? I'm a warrior just like him.
He knew better.
Right? I'm a warrior just like him, and I'm for the people. And I was like, yo, we got to be for the people. He know that. But under this circumstance, look what he did. And you got to say, bravo, right? We always say don't hate. No, don't hate. Be honest. And at the end of the day, give our children something to look forward to. When we looked at Michelle and Barack Obama, how just the image, how happy did it make us to see successful people that we can look to, that we can identify with? That meant a lot for everybody. Well, on the local level, it's the same thing. So the same thing, you got successful people. Why we gotta hate on successful people? We need to celebrate successful people, not try to tear them down. And that doesn't mean they don't stand for criticism. Criticize, but don't tear down good images. We got enough bad images where we don't tear down good ones. So, Mr. Mayor, I'm not going to try to do my best to uplift the image of goodness and positivity. And you know me, if you fall, I'm going to criticize you when you fall. Not to tear you down, though. To lift you up, to build you up.
We're going to do that until we find another candidate. So the next guy, he's going to jump on anything.
See, this is what I say, though, right? Here's one thing, as I told former mayors. I told former mayors this. I said, listen.
You going with Guardian.
I gave him a chance. He screwed it up, and I fried him. And you had to come help him, didn't you? So am I, Guardian came mayor, Republican, alternative lifestyle, something as a Muslim I don't agree with, but I gave him a chance. Did I not?
Oh, I say this, though.
I did give him a chance.
Guardian sat right here in that chair and said that Marty's going to be the next mayor. He didn't hate on Marty, though.
Right. So listen, and I took a lot of flack for Guardian. But when he did something that I thought was wrong, and we met, we had big meetings about it, and I publicly told him you out of pocket, right or wrong. And wait a minute, he was supporting him. And I got both of them. Y'all out of pocket, right?
You ain't get me.
I know you just, but I went for y'all next because I thought y'all was out of pocket. But guess what? And if you realize how he knows, that was a rough time.
Yeah.
We were sinking as a community. Look what he did with that circumstance. When he got the reins, we was in trouble economically. There was so much stuff going on. Our credit rating, look where we at now. So just imagine in 4 years what we could accomplish with a team and good leadership. We can see a New Atlantic City.
You said that with
And we will.
the last guy though.
Right? And I told the last guy, keep clean. Don't I say to you, keep clean? I said, listen.
You and Callaway, y'all was both there. Y'all was
No, listen. I want to see. Listen. I want to see you work.
I was shocked when I was watching on Facebook Live. And I was like, I thought these niggas ain't like each other. And y'all was both there. And I was like, okay.
No.
Was it at Pom Pom?
Yeah,
No, I want to see us win. And he know it. But listen, we had that meeting. We don't want to go too deep. We had a meeting before the meeting. Me and him. We had our private meeting. And we had our reason. I said, listen, all you got to do this, I'm with you. He said, he's just like me, so he know. He said, no. I said, oh, no. Like, no. That's how we going to go. And then I said, listen.
Oh, you talking about the time that
We don't got to go on
$278 at Doc's Oyster House on you?
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. See, he tried to bribe me, and I ain't go for it. I just ate the meal though. It was good, Trinado. So right, but listen. And I told him, I said, it ain't personal. This what I believe is right. I'ma stick what's right. And he do the same thing, right? It would be politically easier for him to win if he sold his soul. It would be easy. So he can win without absentee ballots. Just imagine if he get all of the absentee ballots too. No one could beat him. But there's a price to that he's not gonna do, and I respect that. Right? I mean, he could win with ease. And many people like, and he can't say this, and I shouldn't say it, but like his candidate is just taking the opportunity, not realizing the price of the opportunity. And that's me saying that, that's not the mayor, right? But when a man says, listen, I'm not going to compromise my principles just to win. Hey, I gotta appreciate that, because I'm not going to do it. So, Mayor, we thank you. I hope we didn't take you outside of your, scope, but this is the barbershop, so time we gotta have real talk.
Man, I'm good in any hood.
All right, so thank y'all. June 8th.
Column B. Listen, final word that we know that Atlantic City's problems are big, but the solution has always been small. We know that my administration is what all your hopes and dreams are made of for a better Atlantic City. We still got a long way to go. Understand and know that a small plan truly does make a big difference, and we're encouraging each and every one of you, and I wholeheartedly and humbly ask you for your vote and support. And we want you to dream big, vote small, vote Marshall, Tibbet, and Weeks Council at large. And I'm Mayor Marty Small Sr., and it's a great day here in the city of Atlantic City.
And I'm Imam Amin Muhammad, and I approve this message.